In a distant galaxy, far beyond the reaches of our own solar system, a purple cosmic meteor hurtled through space, carrying with it a malevolent energy that would soon wreak havoc on the inhabitants of a planet known as Zoraxia. As the meteor crashed down onto Zoraxia's surface, it unleashed a wave of energy that engulfed the massive herbivorous powerhouses of the land, the elephants and rhinos. These once peaceful creatures were now completely corrupted by the purple cosmic energy, their eyes glowing with a haunting purple light. The elephants and rhinos, now transformed into unstoppable forces of destruction, began to clash with each other endlessly. Their collisions sent shockwaves rippling through the land, while purple smoke billowed from every impact. The ground shook beneath their massive bodies as they charged at each other, tusks and horns gleaming with a deadly sheen. But what was perhaps the most terrifying aspect of their transformation was the neon-lit purple trails that covered their bodies. These trails seemed to pulsate with energy, constantly healing and regenerating the creatures from every wound they inflicted upon each other. The elephants used their mighty tusks to stab and gnash at the rhinos, while the rhinos countered with their sharp horns, creating a never-ending cycle of destruction and regeneration. Meanwhile, in a separate part of Zoraxia, two toxic reptiles, a Komodo dragon and a king cobra, had also fallen victim to the purple cosmic energy. Their glowing purple eyes mirrored those of the herbivorous powerhouses, and they too began to fight endlessly and disastrously, their bodies enveloped in purple neon-lit trails. These reptiles, normally deadly predators, now found themselves locked in a battle for supremacy, their toxic venom and razor-sharp teeth paling in comparison to the power of the cosmic energy coursing through their veins. As they clashed, emitting purple shockwaves and foggy mist gas from their eyes, the very fabric of reality seemed to tremble. And watching this eternal battle unfold with gleeful amusement was Airachnid, a sassy female Decepticon evil villainous robot from the Transformers Prime animated show. Her purple robotic eyes glowed with delight as she witnessed the chaos and destruction unfolding before her, the purple misty gas enveloping her in a sweet, intoxicating embrace. As the battle raged on, it became clear that there was no end in sight. The herbivorous powerhouses and toxic reptiles were locked in a cycle of destruction and regeneration, their glowing eyes piercing the darkness of the universe like beacons of eternal conflict. And so, the purple cosmic meteor had wrought a terrible fate upon the inhabitants of Zoraxia, turning once peaceful creatures into unstoppable forces of devastation. And as Airachnid looked on, a wicked smile gracing her metallic features, it was clear that the battle would rage on for eternity, a spectacle of chaos and destruction fueled by the malevolent power of the purple cosmic energy. It was a chaotic scene, the air thick with purple mist and the ground shaking with the constant collisions of the massive herbivorous powerhouses, the elephants and rhinos, locked in an endless battle. Their glowing purple eyes burned brightly as they charged at each other, tusks and horns gleaming with deadly intent. "Look at them, Mantis," Airachnid said, her robot voice filled with amusement. "Such raw power, such sheer brutality. It's beautiful, don't you think?" Mantis, the tiny but lethal robot Mantis perched on Arachnid's shoulder, clicked its mandibles in agreement. "Yes, mistress. The energy radiating from their bodies is intoxicating. It's like a symphony of destruction." As the herbivores clashed and roared, the two toxic reptiles, the Komodo dragon and king cobra, slithered and slunk around each other, their purple eyes locked in a deadly stare. Their bodies were covered in the same neon-lit purple trails as the herbivores, their movements fluid and lethal. Arachnid's optics gleamed with dark delight as she watched the carnage unfold. "Oh, this is better than any show I've ever seen. The power of the purple cosmic meteor has truly unleashed their primal instincts. They are unstoppable." Mantis chirped in agreement, its optics flashing with excitement. "Indeed, mistress. The energy emanating from them is unlike anything I've ever witnessed. It's as if they are invincible, their bodies constantly healing and regenerating from every attack." As the battles raged on, the purple mist enveloped Airachnid, swirling around her robotic limbs and body. She closed her eyes, savoring the sensation of the mist cleansing and revitalizing her systems. It was a feeling like no other, a rush of power and exhilaration that made her circuits hum with energy. "Mistress, the energy levels are off the charts," Mantis said, its voice tinged with awe. "I've never seen anything like this before. It's as if the very fabric of reality is being torn apart by their sheer force." Airachnid opened her eyes, her gaze locked on the fighting creatures in front of her. "Yes, Mantis. This is a battle for the ages. The purple energy flowing from them is consuming everything in its path, creating a vortex of destruction and chaos." The ground shuddered as the herbivores and reptiles clashed with increasing ferocity, their glowing eyes burning brighter with each passing moment. The shockwaves and purple mist filled the air, creating a surreal and otherworldly atmosphere that seemed to pulse with dark power. Airachnid raised a metallic hand to her chin, her optics narrowing in thought. "I wonder, Mantis. What if we were to harness this energy for ourselves? Imagine the possibilities, the power we could wield." Mantis twitched its antennae, its metallic body quivering with excitement. "Yes, mistress. With the purple cosmic energy at our command, we could conquer galaxies, reshape worlds, become gods among machines." Arachnid's lips curled into a sinister smile. Then it settled, Mantis. We shall harness this power for ourselves, and nothing will stand in our way. The universe will tremble at our feet. As the eternal battle raged on in front of them, the purple mist swirling around them like a maelstrom of power and destruction, Arachnid and Mantis plotted their next move. With the energy of the purple cosmic meteor at their disposal, there was no limit to what they could achieve. And so, the stage was set for a new chapter in the cosmic saga, a chapter filled with darkness, intrigue, and the relentless pursuit of power. The universe would never be the same again. Words. 585. It was a chaotic scene in the vast, open savanna as the elephants and rhinos, two of the most powerful herbivorous creatures on Earth, were locked in an eternal battle. Their massive bodies collided with earth-shaking force, sending shockwaves rippling through the air. The once gentle giants were now corrupted by the strange purple cosmic meteor that had crashed into their habitat, turning their eyes into glowing orbs of pulsating purple light. The elephants, with their tusks gleaming in the purple glow, charged at the rhinos who responded in kind, their horns poised for battle. The clash of tusks and horns filled the air with a deafening cacophony, as the two behemoths fought endlessly and mercilessly. Purple smoke billowed from their collisions, creating a thick fog that enveloped the battlefield in an eerie haze. But no matter how savage their attacks, both the elephants and rhinos seemed to possess an otherworldly ability to heal and regenerate from their wounds. Their bodies were covered in neon-lit purple trails that pulsed with a strange energy, replenishing their strength with each passing moment. It was a never-ending cycle of destruction and renewal, fueled by the power of the cosmic meteor that had twisted their once peaceful natures. Meanwhile, in a separate corner of the savannah, two toxic reptiles, a Komodo dragon and a king cobra, had also fallen under the influence of the purple meteor. Their scales glowed with the same pulsating purple light as they slithered and slunk towards each other, their eyes burning with a fierce intensity. The reptiles clashed with a ferocity that matched that of the herbivores, their toxic venom mixing with the purple mist that hung heavy in the air. Their bodies too were covered in neon-lit trails of purple energy, allowing them to heal and regenerate from each other's deadly bites and strikes. The battle between the reptiles was just as brutal and unrelenting as that of the herbivores, with the same purple shockwaves and foggy mist swirling around them. As the eternal struggle continued, a shadowy figure watched from the sidelines. Airachnid, the sassy female Decepticon from the Transformers Prime animated show, crossed her robotic arms and smirked as she observed the chaos unfolding before her. The purple misty gas enveloped her spider-like robotic limbs, cleansing and energizing her with its strange power. For Airachnid, the eternal battle of the corrupted creatures was a source of amusement and entertainment. She reveled in the never-ending cycle of destruction and regeneration, finding pleasure in the raw power and ferocity of the combatants. As the purple energy mist swirled around her, she leaned back on her hind legs, her forelimbs casually crossed in front of her. The savannah was now a battleground of epic proportions, with the elephants, rhinos, reptiles, and the Decepticon all locked in a dance of death and rebirth. The purple cosmic meteor had unleashed a force beyond imagination, twisting the very fabric of nature and turning once gentle creatures into savage warriors. And as the sun set on the endless battlefield, the glowing eyes of the herbivores and carnivores shone brightly in the fading light, a testament to the power of the purple cosmic meteor that had forever altered their destinies. Words. 538. In a world where the boundaries between reality and fantasy are blurred, a purple cosmic meteor crashed into the earth, bringing with it a strange and powerful energy that corrupted the minds of the creatures it touched. Among the first to feel its effects were the elephants and rhinos, massive herbivorous beasts known for their strength and resilience. As the purple energy seeped into their bodies, the elephants and rhinos began to change. Their once gentle eyes now glowed with an unnatural purple light, and their bodies were covered in neon-lit purple trails that seemed to pulse with power. With each passing moment, the creatures grew more aggressive, their once peaceful nature twisted and warped by the corrupting influence of the meteor. It wasn't long before the elephants and rhinos turned on each other, their once symbiotic relationship shattered by their newfound rage. The ground shook as they clashed, tusks and horns colliding with bone-crushing force. Shockwaves rippled through the air, accompanied by clouds of purple fog that obscured the battlefield in a haze of swirling energy. Despite the ferocity of their attacks, the creatures seemed invincible. Every wound they inflicted upon each other healed almost instantly, their purple glowing eyes flickering with an otherworldly power that seemed to defy nature itself. It was a never-ending cycle of destruction and rebirth, a twisted dance of violence and regeneration that seemed to have no end. Meanwhile, in a separate part of the world, two toxic reptiles, a Komodo dragon and a king cobra, had also fallen under the influence of the purple cosmic meteor. Like the elephants and rhinos, they too had developed glowing purple eyes and neon-lit trails that covered their bodies. As they squared off against each other, their venomous fangs and deadly strikes were met with a similar resistance to harm, their bodies seemingly impervious to the ravages of battle. As the conflict between the herbivores and carnivores raged on, a new player entered the scene. Airachnid, a sassy female Decepticon from the world of Transformers, watched with amusement as the creatures tore each other apart in a never-ending cycle of violence and regeneration. Her robotic eyes gleamed with a sinister light as she soaked in the chaos and destruction, reveling in the power of the purple energy that surrounded her. With a cruel smile, Airachnid crossed her arms and settled back to enjoy the show. The eternal battle between the corrupted herbivores and carnivores was like a twisted ballet of death and rebirth, a spectacle of violence and power that seemed to defy all logic. And as the purple misty gas enveloped her, cleansing her robotic form with its otherworldly energy, she knew that she would never grow tired of watching the eternal struggle unfold before her eyes. It was a thrilling display of raw power and unbridled chaos, a true testament to the dangers of the cosmic forces that lurked beyond the bounds of reality. And so, the battle raged on, the creatures locked in an eternal struggle that seemed to defy all reason. The elephants and rhinos clashed with unstoppable force, their purple glowing eyes burning with fury as they fought for dominance. The toxic reptiles slithered and struck, their venomous bites and deadly coils met with equal force by their adversaries. But as the purple misty gas swirled and twisted around them, it became clear that this was no ordinary battle. This was a clash of titans, a cosmic struggle that would echo through the ages, a testament to the awesome and terrible power of the purple cosmic meteor. And as Airachnid watched with gleeful anticipation, she knew that the show was far from over. The battle would continue, endlessly and eternally, a never-ending cycle of violence and regeneration that would shape the fate of the world for generations to come. And she wouldn't miss a single moment of it. Words. 646. There was chaos in the air as the once peaceful creatures, elephants and rhinos, had been corrupted by the purple cosmic meteor. Their glowing purple eyes bore witness to their newfound power as they clashed endlessly, sending shockwaves and purple smoke swirling around them with every collision. The elephants, with their massive tusks, clashed with the rhinos, who used their powerful horns to jab and slash at their opponents. The purple energy that emanated from their eyes seemed to fuel their attacks, making them stronger and more resilient with each blow. As the battle raged on, the ground shook with the force of their stomping and crashing bodies. But no matter how brutal the attacks, both the elephants and rhinos seemed to heal and regenerate almost instantly, their thick skin covered in neon-lit purple trails. Meanwhile, in another part of the land, two toxic reptiles, a Komodo dragon and a king cobra, were also under the influence of the purple meteor. Their glowing purple eyes mirrored those of the herbivores, and they too engaged in a never-ending battle, their bodies surrounded by swirling purple mist. The air was thick with the scent of burning ozone and the sound of clashing bodies filled the space as the two pairs of creatures fought relentlessly. The toxic reptiles used their venomous bites and sharp fangs to attack each other, their bodies seemingly unscathed by the brutal assaults they inflicted upon one another. In the midst of the chaos, a figure watched with interest. It was Airachnid, the sassy female Decepticon evil villain from Transformers Prime. She crossed her robotic arms and chuckled to herself as she witnessed the eternal battle unfolding before her purple optics. The purple misty gas enveloped her spider-like legs as she stood, seemingly untouched by the violence that surrounded her. She reveled in the power of the purple energy, feeling cleansed and revitalized by its otherworldly essence. As the battle raged on, the creatures showed no signs of stopping. The elephants and rhinos clashed with ever-increasing ferocity, while the toxic reptiles continued their deadly dance of venom and fangs. Airachnid watched with a gleam in her eye, her robotic form seemingly unaffected by the chaos that raged around her. She was a being apart, a spectator to the eternal battle of the corrupted creatures, enjoying every moment of the thrilling spectacle before her. And so the battle continued, the creatures locked in an endless cycle of violence and regeneration, fueled by the power of the purple cosmic meteor. And Airachnid, the sinister spider-like villain, watched on with a smile, her purple optics gleaming with wicked delight. Words. In a world where the purple cosmic meteor had corrupted the most powerful and massive creatures, the elephants and rhinos, the once peaceful herbivores turned into unstoppable forces of destruction. Their glowing purple eyes pierced through the darkness as they clashed endlessly, each collision emitting shockwaves and purple smoke that filled the atmosphere. The elephants used their tusks to stab and gnash at the rhinos, while the rhinos retaliated with their powerful horns, creating a never-ending cycle of brutal attacks. Despite the constant barrage of wounds, their bodies were covered in neon-lit purple trails that seemed to heal and regenerate them instantly. Meanwhile, in a separate part of the world, two toxic reptiles, the Komodo dragon and king cobra, were also corrupted by the purple meteor. Their glowing purple eyes mirrored those of the herbivores as they engaged in a fierce battle, their bodies surrounded by the same purple glow that seemed to amplify their healing and regenerative abilities. As the herbivores and carnivores clashed, the purple shockwaves and foggy mist gas they emitted spread throughout the universe, enveloping everything in its ethereal glow. And amidst the chaos, a sassy female Decepticon robot named Airachnid watched with amusement, her robotic purple eyes gleaming with excitement. Airachnid crossed her arms and chuckled as she witnessed the eternal battle unfolding before her, the purple misty gas cleaning and enveloping her robotic limbs. She relished in the spectacle of the corrupted creatures fighting endlessly, their powers fueled by the cosmic energy that had tainted them. The epic clash between the herbivorous powerhouses and the toxic reptiles continued to escalate, each blow more ferocious than the last. The ground shook with their immense power as they stomped and crushed each other's thick-skinned bodies, only to heal and regenerate instantaneously from the damage. The purple glow of their eyes intensified, casting a haunting light over the battlefield as they charged at each other with relentless fury. The air crackled with energy as the creatures clashed, their eternal struggle echoing through the universe. As Airachnid observed the chaotic scene unfolding before her, she couldn't help but admire the sheer power and tenacity of the corrupted creatures. The purple misty gas enveloped her, cleansing her robotic form in its otherworldly energy. And so, the eternal battle between the corrupted herbivorous powerhouses and toxic reptiles raged on, their glowing purple eyes a testament to the dark influence of the cosmic meteor. And as the universe trembled under their relentless onslaught, Airachnid watched on with a twisted smile, reveling in the thrill of the endless conflict. Words. 427. The once peaceful savanna was now a battleground, with the ground trembling under the massive weight of the corrupted herbivorous powerhouses, the elephants and rhinos. Their once kind eyes were now glowing a malevolent shade of purple, signaling the corruption that had taken hold of them. They charged at each other with reckless abandon, tusks and horns gleaming in the harsh light of the neon-lit purple trails that covered their bodies. Every collision between the elephants and rhinos emitted shockwaves that shook the ground, sending purple smoke billowing into the air. The sound of their tusks and horns clashing echoed through the savanna, creating a symphony of destruction. Despite the brutal nature of their battle, both creatures seemed to regenerate and heal almost instantly from the wounds they inflicted upon each other. The purple energy flowing through their veins seemed to grant them an endless well of power and vitality. As the elephants and rhinos continued their endless struggle, in another part of the savanna, two toxic carnivorous reptiles, a Komodo dragon and a king cobra, were locked in their own deadly battle. Their bodies were also covered in the same purple trails, their eyes glowing with the same malevolent light. The reptiles clashed with fangs and claws, venom dripping from their jaws as they fought tooth and nail for dominance. The purple shockwaves and foggy mist gas that emitted from their eyes intertwined with those of the elephants and rhinos, creating a swirling vortex of chaos and destruction. Amidst the chaos, a figure stood watching with amusement. It was Airachnid, the sassy female Decepticon evil villainous robot from the Transformers Prime animated show. Her robotic purple optics gleamed with delight as she observed the eternal battle unfolding before her. As the purple misty gas enveloped her, Airachnid felt a surge of energy coursing through her circuits. She reveled in the power of the corrupted creatures, enjoying the display of strength and brutality before her. The battle between the herbivores and carnivores seemed never-ending, each clash fueling their endless cycle of violence and regeneration. The savanna itself seemed to tremble under their combined power, the very fabric of reality warping in their wake. As Airachnid continued to watch, a sinister smile played on her metallic lips. In the chaos and destruction that reigned around her, she found a sense of twisted joy. The eternal battle of the corrupted creatures filled her with a sense of exhilaration, a thrill that sent shivers down her robotic spine. For Airachnid, the eternal struggle of the purple-eyed herbivores and carnivores was a spectacle unlike any other. And as long as the cosmic meteor continued to corrupt and empower them, she knew that the show would go on forever, a dark and twisted display of power and destruction that would never cease. Words. 470. In a world where the laws of nature seemed to have been completely upended, two massive herbivorous powerhouses, the elephants and the rhinos, found themselves locked in an eternal battle. Both creatures had been corrupted by a mysterious purple cosmic meteor, causing their normally peaceful natures to be consumed by relentless aggression. The elephants, with their tusks gleaming with a neon-lit purple glow, clashed with the rhinos, their horns also aglow with the same eerie light. With each collision, shockwaves reverberated through the earth, sending clouds of purple smoke billowing into the sky. The two beasts charged at each other relentlessly, their glowing eyes fixed on their opponent with a ferocity never before seen. Despite the brutal nature of their battles, both the elephants and the rhinos seemed almost invincible. The purple cosmic energy that now coursed through their bodies allowed them to heal and regenerate from even the most devastating wounds. Their already thick skins were further bolstered by the constant influx of neon-lit purple trails that shimmered and pulsed with each breath they took. As the herbivorous powerhouses continued their endless struggle, another pair of creatures, toxic carnivorous reptiles, a Komodo dragon and a king cobra, found themselves similarly corrupted by the purple cosmic meteor. Like the elephants and rhinos, the reptiles too developed glowing purple eyes and engaged in a vicious battle that seemed to have no end. The Komodo dragon, with its razor-sharp teeth glistening with the same purple glow as its eyes, clashed with the king cobra, its fangs dripping with venom that shimmered with a deadly purple hue. The two toxic reptiles fought with a savage intensity, their bodies ensconced in the same neon-lit purple trails that seemed to enhance their already formidable abilities. The clashes between the herbivores and the carnivores sent shockwaves of purple energy rippling through the universe, causing even the most distant corners of space to tremble with their power. As the battles raged on, the purple misty gas emitted by the creatures enveloped everything in its otherworldly embrace, suffusing the atmosphere with a surreal, ethereal glow. Meanwhile, watching the eternal struggle unfold with a sly grin on her metallic face, was Airachnid, a Decepticon evil villainous robot from the Transformers Prime animated show. Her purple robotic optics gleamed with a malevolent light as she observed the chaos with a wicked amusement. With her spider-like limbs poised gracefully, she basked in the swirling currents of purple energy, reveling in the sight of the corrupted creatures locked in an eternal dance of destruction. As the battles continued to rage on, the very fabric of reality seemed to warp and shift under the influence of the purple cosmic energy. The once tranquil world had been transformed into a battlefield of epic proportions, where the line between reality and nightmare had become blurred beyond recognition. And so, the eternal struggle between the corrupted herbivores and carnivores raged on, each clash sending shockwaves of purple energy cascading through the universe. And watching it all with a twisted delight was Airachnid, her metallic form bathed in the eerie glow of the purple misty gas that now permeated the very essence of existence. In this wild and surreal landscape, the boundaries of reality had been shattered, and nothing would ever be the same again. Words. 551. It was a sight to behold, as the once peaceful and majestic elephants and rhinos were now locked in a never-ending battle, their glowing purple eyes filled with a fierce determination. The ground shook with each of their thunderous charges, as they clashed with a force that seemed to shake the very fabric of reality. "Look at them," whispered a voice from the shadows. It was Airachnid, the sassy female Decepticon evil villainous robot from Transformers Prime. She lounged lazily, her purple optics glowing with excitement as she watched the chaos unfold before her. "Indeed," replied a mysterious figure beside her. It was none other than Megatron, the fearsome leader of the Decepticons. His crimson optics glowed with a deep hunger for power as he watched the two colossal beasts clash with unrestrained fury. As the elephants and rhinos continued their relentless battle, the two toxic reptiles, a Komodo dragon and a king cobra, joined the fray. Their purple eyes gleamed with malice as they lunged at each other, their bodies enveloped in a neon-lit purple glow. "This is exhilarating," Airachnid remarked, a wicked grin spreading across her metallic face. The power of the purple cosmic meteor has truly transformed them into unstoppable forces of nature. Megatron nodded in agreement, his expression unreadable.